Hi guys, it's Paula back this morning to show you how the design team project turned out. I'm sorry I wasn't able to do more than the other three parts, but this design project was just very detailed. But I wanted to kind of give you an idea of how I was thinking and where I was starting from. Okay, with the Franken-Stitches and the mixed media pages and so forth. So I did use mixed media pages. I used acrylic paints, which was the Dilutions, and in multicolors, and I used different stencils, and that was a project on its own. And I did do a video on that. I also did a video at the beginning, I believe, telling you what I was up to, but was still being kind of secretive. And I gave you measurements on how to cut this book out. And I want to apologize because, you know, it was real early in the morning and I don't think that I made any sense when I watched the video back. So I want to give you those measurements again. Okay, we're going to do that real quick while I'm thinking about it. You want to use heavy watercolor cardstock, which is what I did, or watercolor paper. And I used it on the inside and the outside, but you can choose what you want to use. It could have stood to be a little heavier, I think. It measures, the outside cover is 6 inches by, 11 inches by 6 inches. Okay, and you want to score it at 5 inches from the right side. Flip it around, score it from 5 inches from the left side, and it will leave you with a 1-inch spine. Again, that's 11 by 6 inches. Score at 5 inches from both sides. Okay, now on the inside cover here, that is 10 inches by 5 3/4 inches. And then you will score it at, you'll come in on the right side like we did on that cover, and you'll score it at 4 3/4. You'll flip it around and score it at 4 3/4, leaving you a 1/2 inch spine. Now, the first video on my measurements made no sense to me even when I watched it, and I had a lady say, I didn't understand that. I mean, when I was telling it to you, it made sense to me at the time, but and that was because I was the one doing it, but really it needs to just be pointed out what it is. So if you have any questions as far as the measurements go, please don't hesitate to leave me a message. And I love getting messages from you guys. And so on the front cover, that's where we're going to start. I did the Franken-Stitches on all of the background throughout the whole book. I will tell you this, the vintage paper is fragile. And if I had it to do over again, I might do it with multi-printed cardstock. Just because when you stitch on vintage paper, it does weaken it and break it down. Plus it had already had mixed media. But now, when I saw this being done, I just did it how they did it. And, you know, so I didn't know until I tried it. But I still love the way it turned out. So, this is a vintage postcard on the front. It's triple matted. And I matted it with green vintage paper and pink vintage paper, which was the mixed media. And it just didn't pop off the front like I wanted it to, because this is an old image and it's not as brilliant as some pictures on the front of covers. So I added an ivory around those 3, and it popped much better. I put some muslin at an angle, and I love the way it turned out. Now on this, I did poke a hole on this spine, and inside this book is a lot of not butterflies, but birds and florals, and then there is a touch of butterflies in some embellishment. So I did a charm here, let me hold it up so you can see it, that has birds, butterflies, and flowers. And then I tied it, I double knotted some muslin that I inked. And so let's go inside and look. Okay, I did do a tuck spot here on the side, and I just cut out just a triangle. I just measured, you know, the sides, and so you'll just want to measure and put what you want right here. And I just kind of cut out a little shape right here so that it'd be easier to tuck my items in. Now, this is just an old tabbed file card that I had, and I wanted to use up all these mini images that are in the kit. This is some birds and some floral, and then on this side I used up some more, and I just had space for it, and I just thought I can't not use as much as possible in it. So this is an altered clip here with one of the round images from the kit, and then this is another one here. This is the altered clip that I'm just clipping it on the top of the little white bag. Now, I did put mixed media paper. I stitched it and then glued it onto the front of the bag, because obviously you can't stitch it on the bag. In each of my bags, in each of my bags, I did put little goodies. That's why it's called an embellishment kit. Little goodies from some of Tim Holtz items. Everybody loves Tim Holtz items, and so I stuck some of those in there for the recipient. Now, that's the fun part about these little bags, and you will be amazed at the different things you can come up with out of these little bags. So then I just clip this on the front of the bag, and it just kind of, I didn't pull it all the way down, just to the top of the bag so you could see both images. Now, that's the front tuck pocket, okay? Moving over here, I just did a couple pockets across here. Let me show you what's in them first, and then I'll tell you how I made the pockets. A little mini tag with a little bird with some cheesecloth. Cute. Tracy, you're so talented. And then I matted one of her little mini tags. And if you see here, I just put a piece of cardstock across another piece of cardstock. I stitched this lower one before I put them together and stitched the hoe outside, and then I glued them into the book. Okay, that's how they ended up in the book. Simple, and I did that on one other page too. Here in the back, I just made a card. I just threw in a couple of sheets of journaling paper, and it's just white paper. Anything will work. Some of the mixed media paper, just to give it more color like it needs it. And then I made a little card, and I put the the vintage paper that had mixed media on there, on both sides actually, and I centered it so they both would be caught by the stitching. It's not always easy to do, but it actually did work. A couple little clothespins and floral images that are just stunning, and then over here some images of some of the birds. Okay, now that is page 2. Let me get everything back in here how I had it. If I were someone new to mixed media, not mixed media, to journaling, making journals, and just the whole process, I would love receiving something like this. Now, this is the center of the page, and this is a triple pocket, and I'm going to show you as soon as we're through looking at these pockets how to make these little pockets. It's very simple. Okay, so first let's empty the front pockets. I stuck a little butterfly in here, one of Tim Holtz butterflies. Here's another one of Tracie's little tags that I matted. So cute. I put coffee stained paper on the back of the tags. Now you're gonna go, this woman's crazy, but I did it. I made little mini envelopes. I mean, you have a mini kit, Gotta have a mini envelope, and it has a little bird image here. And believe it or not, inside it has a little bird image. I know, I'm crazy. That's the Grammy in me. And that, believe it or not, that was really fun. And here's a couple more. Well, let me pull this bag out first. So I tried to do each bag slightly different. So on this bag, I folded up the bottom, stitched the mixed media page, and glued it across here, making a little pocket for a couple of Tracie's tags. Look how cute that is. Simple and fun for whoever receives it. Now inside, you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money when you're making gifts for somebody that's a newbie to whatever it is they might be wanting to do. But I just punched out tickets, just a bunch of cream colored tickets, and multicolors of this little design, which can be cut in half and used different ways. So yeah, I did that so that she'd have some little die cut type stuff and some tickets. Okay, and then I just threw in another sheet of my mixed media. Okay, let's put this back in here. I'm going to show you the other side, and then I'll show you how we make this triple pocket. Okay, I'm going to put the little bird back, put the little tag back, and if you notice, when I decorate these books, I try to put things at different angles so that it just has a cute design to it. Okay, all right. Now on page 4, I did the same triple pocket, put a little butterfly here, of course Tim Holtz, a ticket. You could put a roll of tickets there, one of Tracie's bird images, and on the back another bag that I just stitched around the mixed media again, just kind of did extra stitch across the middle to kind of attach to the image. I love this floral. Inside here, I don't even remember what's in here, but we're fixing to find out. Oh yes, I punched a lot of little items. You know, the kind of things that you just put, and none of the mixed media sides are showing up, but it's mixed media paper, circles and hearts, and little tiny, let me grab one, tags. And see, here's a heart. They're in all the mixed media pages. I just took them and I thought, what can I put in here that won't bulk up the book too bad, and you know, they can actually use. I don't know about you, but I always, Sadie's wanting to say hello, I'm sorry. I always use little hearts on things, especially my scrapbook pages, because it's just fun. Okay, so that bag is back in. Let's put the tag back in, and the little bird and the butterfly. I just think it looks so cute. Now, I'm going to show you quickly how to make these pockets, and then we'll go back to looking through the book. 4 by whatever. I mean, you can have it up to 12 inches, whatever makes you comfortable. This is 12 inches. So 4 by 12 inches. Now you're going to lay it at this direction from you and flip it over. You want to use single-sided paper that's not super heavy. See, this is pretty flexible. And taking it like an inch is how I did it. I just folded it over and I just eyeballed it. You're going to do an accordion style. Let me move this up so you can see. I just folded it up at about an inch, approximately an inch, and just scored it with my finger. And I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do that again, only I don't want this white paper to show underneath this folded down edge. So you want to make sure that that's just up under there, and even at both sides so you don't get a crooked pocket. I know it's kind of hard to see when it blends in, but I'll bring it up for you. See, there's where we folded it the first time. Then we folded it back on itself, and we're going to fold it back on itself again. So flip it over, and this time I want you to come up on the paper a little bit. So this time here's where we folded it before. We're going to come up on the paper about like that and fold it. So now, if you just did this and no white, you just have 2 pockets. So this can go on and on and on up your page, okay? But we're just going to do 3. Okay, so now you want to flip it back over again. And no, I take that back. Let's flip it this way because we want to, well, let me think for a second. No, we want to flip it this way. I'm sorry. I don't mean to confuse you. It's just, this is new to me. I've not made one of these before. So you fold over 1 inch, up about 1.5 inches on the second fold or the third fold. And now we're going to do the 4th fold. You just fold back on it. And you're going to allow for that pocket. So you can see how far back you folded on it. See, there's the first pocket. Here's the second pocket. Now, we want to flip it over and fold back on it again. Trying to keep both sides lined up. And there you have it. You've got your 3 pockets, see? With the white still hanging down below. If you wanted to keep going, you just cut that white off. You could. You could keep going, definitely. But again, make sure the white's not hanging out here because my first one was like that. And you'll want to ink around each edge. Then go to your sewing machine and zigzag straight across the front pocket. You've got the rest of it out of the way. Straight across the front pocket. And then you're going to straight across the second front pocket and straight across the top pocket. And that's going to leave you a pocket like this that's still loose, but you're going to have your design across the tops of each pocket. Then you hold it down flat and zigzag around the right, the bottom, and the left sides. Then you adhere it to your book. And I'm going to bring it back over so you can see. Then you adhere it to your book. And you don't want it glued down into your spine. You want to make sure you have it to the left as much as possible. I hope this made sense. It was a fun thing to learn, and I'll be using it more and more. Okay, so that's page 3 and 4 of our embellishment journal. This is the last 2 pages, and you can see here I took a little bag and I folded it over and made it look like an envelope, and I put an image on here, one of Tracie's images, and I just tied some ribbon on top of my paper clip and clipped it on to keep it closed. But first, let's see what's inside, because again, this is for a friend. Oh, it's some of Tracie's images this time. A circle image, a bird image, one from each of her collections. I would sure love to get that in a little envelope from anyone. Who doesn't love getting surprise gifts? Okay, now I'm going to pin that back down, slip it back into my back pocket. Again, now on this one is another one of those double pockets that all of us have done a million times. Here's a mini tag with a little image. Flip it over, and here's another little image. And I just put some muslin and stapled it right there. Simple, really, things that you don't even have to think about. Here's another one of my little mini envelopes, which is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 is how it started. And I can't tell you where it scored, but you can figure it out. It's so simple. Okay, and it also has a little bird image in it, which I need to pull down. I'll fix that where whoever can just grab a little something and pull it out. Okay, and so there is our 5th page. I had to stop and think. And this is our last page. And I did another one of the corner tucks, inked it up, added some mixed media paper, and some regular paper, and stuck it in the back here. Just kind of, the thing that's nice about doing that is that you get several things that don't bulk up your book. And here is a tag I made with my new punch. And I just put some muslin up there. I doubled it up, put some behind the images, and put coffee stain paper for journaling on the back. And then here's the back. Now, I don't know if I told you, but when you sew your front and back together, you want to hold it up like this, okay? Your pages on the inside, hold them up like this, center them on your 1-inch spine. You want to center the 1/2 inch spine onto the 1-inch spine, and you're going to have a little space here and here, you know, probably like 1/8 of an inch, and you're going to just run a strip of glue there, and I would use Fabri-Tac or something that glues fast. And then I just went back and added a stitch down the center. So I would put my glue as far to the outside as you can so you can stitch down the center. And then I had a last minute thought of just poking a hoe and hanging some charms, and yeah. So this is my design team project for Tracie Fox, who is Love Junk Journals on Etsy. And beautiful images. I had a hard time deciding on which project to do or which images, digital images, to print. They're so beautiful, and they can be done in anything. I mean, look how wild and bright this book was. And then you have the images that are just very soft, but can be really spiced up. And that's what I love about her stuff. She starts out really soft, and she inks. She does a lot of the inking for you. So again, this is the mini floral, the mini bird, and the mini, let me find the other one here, floral and berries. No, I'm sorry, mini blossoms and berries. So floral, birds, mini blossom, and berries. Those are the mini kits, and I had a blast. Thank you, Tracie. This was my first project with Tracie, and so far I'm loving it. I hope you guys will go out and try to make an embellishment junk journal for your friends who are newbies. I sure would have loved to gotten something like this. So, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you back here soon. If you could give me a thumbs up, that would be great. Tell your friends about my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.